Hi there, you still have time to get a dividend of about 2% and a double in the stock price. Isn't this amazing? I mean, in the next 1 year or 2 years, you can double. You can easily double your money and also get a good dividend, about 2%. But as you can see, investors are still afraid of Alibaba, especially China. Because as you can see, the stock price from its highest peak is down over 70%. And year to date is up 7%. And I still think that the stock price can more than double from the current level of $80 per share, while you'll also get a dividend between 1 and 2%. Isn't this great? Moreover, as I said, investors are afraid of China, trade war between the US and China, and also China regulations, plus other bad things. But let's focus on the business. Alibaba. As you can see, they currently are paying a dividend, over 1%, and they are doing more buybacks. So when you look at the news, that this is the end, China is going down, there is trade war and other things, you might say that I will never invest in China. This is too risky. But as you can see, this company is taking care of shareholders. They are paying a dividend, they do buybacks, and they keep investing in their business to increase their revenue even more in the future. And guess what will happen? If the revenue goes up, also the profits go up, they will continue to do more buybacks, especially if the stock price stays low for a longer period, and they'll also pay a dividend. It might be 1% or a special dividend, as it happened right now, over 2%, and they'll continue to do so in the future. So, despite those bad news that China is going down, regulation, trade war, or other things, you can still make money with Alibaba. Of course, if you buy at the right time, like as it now. Because if you buy at the highest peak, when there are great news, your risk is quite high. Because the stock price goes up, the market assumes that this company will grow to the moon. But then, you've seen what happened. The stock price went down. This is normal in every business. You have good days and bad days. Important thing is to invest when there are bad days, like as it now. This is your opportunity. But if you invest only when there are good times, good news about that company, especially Alibaba, then that's too late. The stock price will be up about $200. So this can happen again. By the end of this year, the stock price can go up to $200. And then right in that moment, you think about investing in Alibaba to take advantage of this opportunity. Maybe the stock price will go to $400. Why not? Especially if the revenue keeps growing. They report a higher growth rate. And then you'll forget about me when I said that the best time is to invest when there are bad news, bad times, as it is now, when the stock price is about $80. So what has to happen that the stock price will go up to $200? First of all, if you look at the revenue, you can see that they have a small growth rate for their Taobao and Tmall group, their e-commerce China. Also for cloud intelligence, a growth rate year over year of 3%. But for the other segments, the growth rate is amazing. And if you listened to the latest earnings call, the management said that the growth rate for e-commerce China and cloud computing will improve by the end of this year, 2024. They will report a double-digit growth rate. And when that happens, when they report a double-digit growth rate, imagine over 10% in the revenue for Taobao and cloud. When that happens, the stock price will go up. You can easily see a double from the current level. The stock price will go to over $160. That can easily happen. In 1 week, you can have a double. When they will report a higher growth rate, especially for their e-commerce China and cloud computing. And of course, if they report a higher growth rate, also the revenue will go up and so their profits. Be aware that their final net income also depends on their investments. So this is a great opportunity, but only a few people have the courage to invest at the lowest peak, as it happened 2 months ago when the stock price was about $68. But still, the majority of investors don't take that advantage, don't take that opportunity to invest at the lowest peak. They are waiting. They are waiting for a rebound, something like this. When they see that the stock price is about $160, they will start buying this company. And of course, when the growth rate of Alibaba will improve. But that's too late, in my opinion. Of course, you can still make money if the stock price goes to $160. You have a double. You can still make money if you are pleased with 10% a year or less than that, let's say 8 to 10%, you can still make money. But if you want a higher return, let's say more than 15% a year or 20%, then that's too late. You have to find other investment ideas. But still, as I said, this company have great opportunity. The market cap, let's say in the next 5 to 10 years, can be 1 trillion. So from 200 billion to 1 trillion, that will be a 5x on your investment at the current level, of course, if you buy at the current level. So you can still more than double your money. Moreover, if you read the latest news, the latest filings, they reported, Alibaba took 5 billion in debt to do more buybacks, as the stock price is so cheap. So this is another signal that Alibaba is taking advantage of these low prices. And this is great, because if you are invested in Alibaba, especially right now, if they continue to do more buybacks, guess what will happen with your profits? Profits per share. They will go up, because the more buybacks they do, your earnings per share will increase in the long term. This means the stock price will go higher and higher. And this is great. This is great, quite great. Then, as I said, Alibaba is also paying a good dividend of about 2% at the current level. And it's not late. You can still buy this company at $80 per share. It's a great price. And also get a dividend. So while you wait for a double or even more than that, let's say 3x or 5x, you can still get a nice dividend a year, about 1 or 2% a year. As you can see here, the record date is on June 13, 2024. That's the record date. So if you buy before that date and hold the shares, you will get a dividend about 2%. And the payment date, as you can see here, is on July 3rd, 2024. So dividend of about 2%. As I said, in my past videos, they are paying a dividend of $1 per share per ADS, plus a one-time payment, an extra dividend of 66 cents per ADS. So that would be a dividend about 2%. Of course, Google has to update its data. If you do the math, 1.6 divided by 80, it will be a dividend about 2%. So that's great. While you wait for a double or more than double on your investment, you still get a good dividend of about 2%, a bonus. You can use that money to buy more of Alibaba shares. And this is quite great. So it's up to you if you want to take this risk. It also depends on your strategy, how you diversify, how you want to invest, if you want to take more risk, if you want to put all your money in this company, or you divide your investments, let's say only 10% or 5% may be Alibaba of your portfolio, or less than that, it depends on you. But as I said, this is a great investment idea. Of course, there are even more investment ideas in this world. You only have to find them. Quite even better than Alibaba. I recently bought another business and I'm up over 20%, while I'm getting a dividend over 3%. So that's great. You only need to find those investment ideas and buy them when they go down. You wait, and when you know the fair value of a business, let's say, maybe for Alibaba is about $160 or $200, you wait that the stock price goes down. And when it's below the fair value, you start buying. Take advantage. And in short time, the stock price goes up a lot. As you can see here, in 2023, an increase over 88%. This can happen again in the next months with Alibaba. So be ready that you might double your money quite soon. So that's it for this video, and if you have other questions about this company, their segments, their businesses, or their buybacks, or the dividend, then please let me know in the comments, and I'll help you.